Welcome to our Thursday night live stream.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are two
crazy
crazy
ketos.
ketos. Let us know if you can hear us.
Welcome back to the Thursday night live stream.
Yes.
It's kind of rainy outside right now.
I didn't think I was going to be able to come from the RV into the house because it was pouring just like 30 minutes ago. And I'm worried about our little turkey babies that are finally moved out from like a brooder situation into like the actual outdoors. They have their own little coop now, but
yeah, we've been moving people around.
First day out there, that's scary.
Yeah. And then I was in the house, but I had to like stop everything because we ran to the store and we bought a desk for my office. I need to turn off these
Matt, thank you so much. We're getting a play-by-play from Chris Bear and Miriam, who are at Sam's recital. And this completely resonated with me. So Chris sent us a picture of Sam with his instrument, like, you know, in the orchestra, getting ready to play. And he's like, for once, we have Sam seated where he is close to the stage and we've got a great view out of him. For years, he's always been in the back.
Yeah.
And I feel that pain after like going with 3 kids. Do you remember or have you experienced going to recitals or going to some sort of program or award ceremony or something with your kids and you get a sucky seat or they are seated so far back, it's like impossible to take photographs.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was working in the house. I finally got a desk for my office. I was going to do kitchen cabinets like these, but then I realized it would be taller than a normal desk. So what I ended up doing is just going to Office Depot and getting like a cheaper type of corner desk that happened to be like $200 on sale. So I'm like, good. And I had $100 in rewards, so that was even better. And then we're gonna do these same cabinets on the other side for my 3D printers and all that kind of stuff. And I was in the middle of everything. It started raining. And I'm like, oh crap! I have the truck open, like the bed open, so I had to go move all that.
As exciting as it is that you got a desk, and I'm really happy for you. I'm also happy for you that the instructions said like budget 3 hours to put this desk together, and you're like, it didn't take me 3 hours.
I only followed some of the directions,
but I don't think that was the most exciting moment of today. The most exciting moment of today was I got to visit an Ollie's.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. It's like some sort of a bargain hunt. Did you
guys ever been to Ollie's?
Ever been to Ollie's? Because in order for us to get to Office Depot, we had to go clear.
We had to go to Venice.
50 minutes away to get to an Office Depot. Hello. That's when, and how do you know you've moved from the city to the country, right? So, yeah, but it's like a bargain hut. And they had everything, including, and this always like kind of gets me, is all of like the Christmas candy and Halloween candy is all there for sale.
Yeah.
And you're like, how long? Was this Christmas 2024? Christmas 2023? What are we looking at here?
Yeah, well, we don't need any of that.
Right.
So welcome to our Thursday live stream.
Yes.
If you're new here, Thursday live streams are all about our subscribers. We like to hang out with our subscribers. It's just our chance to connect and answer questions about keto and carnivore. So if you have a question about keto or carnivore, pretty much anything else within reason, go ahead and type question and then your question, or use the super chat function, which we really appreciate. It does help support the channel. But it highlights our screen and lets us know that you have a question so we don't miss it. If you get any kind of value out of our channel, we really appreciate it. If you, number one, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on this live stream, make sure you're sharing it. And if you want to help support us further, consider buying us a cup of coffee, or you can buy our coffee or use any one of our links down below.
Coffee.
Andy said, hey, Joe and Rachel. Joe, how are you feeling? Antibiotics are not working for me yet after 2 days. Hoping you're feeling better. Actually, I have been really sick the last 2 days. So that phlegmy cough started going away, and then I just got sick. And like, it's been pretty miserable the last couple of days. As a matter of fact, on Tuesday, I gave back my lacrosse game. I felt so bad because I don't give back games, and it's like the day of the game.
I was a little worried.
And I was just like, it was supposed to be like 50 degrees at night, and it's like 90 during the day and 50 at night. And I think that's one of the reasons that I got sick. And so I just called them. I'm like, listen, I'm sick. If you can find somebody. Can you replace me? If you can't, I will get through it. But I did know it's spring break week, so the schedule is a little light. So I was able to not have to work that game. But I've not been able to sleep because I've been so sick. So last night,
oh wow,
I binge watched the final half of the final season of Yellowstone. So I watched one episode the other night, and then I watched all the rest last night.
And then I cheated and just watched it, like had him catch me up.
You need to watch them though.
I want to watch them, but like this is the great part when we do have a 50-minute one-way trip places. It's like, what are you going to talk about? So he gave
I basically gave her the wrap up of how the show ends.
It reminded me of when my mom would like tell me a bedtime story, only it was much rougher and more adult, right? But it was really, it just sounded very, very interesting. So I definitely want to watch all the other.
It was really good. If you're a Yellowstone fan, let us know. What did you think of the ending? I thought it was phenomenal. The way they, well, I don't want to break it.
Wrapped it up at least.
I don't want to spoil it if you haven't watched it yet. But I thought it was phenomenal the way they wrapped up the show. Really reminded me of Sons of Anarchy, like, you know, of just like one of the best endings of a TV show. Of course, my personal opinion, and if your opinion is different, I'm sorry, but you're wrong.
Oh my gracious.
The best ever season finale or series finale of any TV show is MASH.
I honestly think
it is. I'm sorry. MASH's series finale episode was the greatest TV show ending in history.
Just remember he likes grape. Okay? So
yeah, but most people like grape with me.
No, they don't.
I
Everybody was joking.
So anyway,
everybody was joking.
Let's get into see if there's any questions. We did. We started off our morning though having to go pick up a new rooster. Unfortunately,
yes,
we are going to. I was going to call them, but we're going to rehome Larry and
Jeffrey. Can I tell you them why?
Yeah.
They hate my mother. They hate my mother. There is no reason. The woman is a saint on earth. Anytime she comes into the yard, they put their head down and gun for her like she owes them money.
They're protecting the flock, but somebody
other
recently
people can come.
But somebody had spooked them recently, or one of them, and we're not sure which one. And so ever since then, they're generally okay with us.
Yeah.
But other strangers come and they kind of dart after, and I'm not going to have them hurt Rachel's mom.
No way.
And so we are going to rehome them at the auction tomorrow, and we picked up an Easter egger from one of our local, like, other farmers who I've met in the past.
Who's getting picked on at their house because he's a juvenile.
Right. So we're hoping that this one will work out because we do need to have roosters. But, like, I can't have a rooster that's going to attack Rachel's mom. That's just not going to happen.
That's not going to happen. So she came one time, and they sliced the back of her leg. Then she came this week for a visit, sliced the front of her shins really badly. She's trying to wear clothes to not provoke them, you know, all of the things. And so, but I'm like, hey.
Well, Larry even came after you when you were making that reel the other day.
So you pick the one person that I just can't have. You go after.
Yeah, so okay, so let's see. Jenny's Journey. Hey everyone, I rarely watch a live, but I always catch the replay. I finished packing up the house. I'm officially full-time RVing. That is awesome.
I am so excited.
We are leaving for Elkhart next Friday or Saturday to pick up our new RV.
Let us know if you are going to be at the Indiana Meetup taking place April 1st. No joke, we're actually getting together April 1st. If you want more details, go to lowcarbevents.com and you will see that we're having an Indiana Meetup. So stinking excited about that.
So, your mom said she likes Ollie's. Renee said, I love Ollie's, like the book section.
The book
Matt
section.
Has never been. I've never even heard of it. It would happen to be next to Office Depot.
I absolutely could have moved in to the book section.
Jennifer said Ollie's is taking over their closed Big Lots. John said, we have one. My wife goes in there every once in a while.
I liked it better.
Doesn't remind me of Big Lots, but they have everything.
I liked it better than
when
Big
I was
Lots.
buying my desk, Rachel was like, I want you to get some kind of a thin carpet to protect the floor from your chair because I roll around a lot. Even though we have a top-of-the-line scratch-proof vinyl plank flooring. Yeah. She's like, just get, and it was like $100 in Office Depot. Well, we picked up the perfect rug, 5x8, for $18.
18 bucks, baby.
Yeah.
That's my kind
Lady
of
Fritzl
rug.
said we have one, never always near a Home Depot. Yeah, ours was next to Office Depot.
Yeah, ours was next to Office Depot, but there was so much stuff there. I mean, we didn't have time to live there like I would like to move in, but it was just a nice variety of stuff.
John wants to know, does my salty use increase when you're sick? I was going through 3 or 4 last time. Generally, yes. I drink a lot more electrolytes. And I'm on a kick right now of adding salty to my keto chows.
Yes, he
So
is.
the other day I had a strawberry keto chow with the caramel vibe salty. Wow.
Okay, so I just want to say that this is a beautiful fork in the road for our marriage, because usually when he goes, come over here, taste this, it's because he's testing to see if it's bad and is he catching it correctly? Is this heavy whipping cream bad? Taste it, see if it's rotten. But now, baby, you're showing me things that taste delicious. So he's like, come over here, you gotta taste this. And it was strawberry keto chow mixed with
Caramel vibes.
Caramel vibes. And it was delicious.
Then we went to Costco. Costco had good samples today. I was really upset they had Euro meat on sample. And then I did have it. Because it's only like a little piece anyway. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to buy some of that. And you pick up the bag. It's like 6 carbs for a 2-ounce serving because they're putting breadcrumbs and everything else in it.
Dang it.
And then Rachel reminded me, you have a Euro meat recipe. I'm like,
hello.
oh, yeah.
Why
We're
don't
going to
you
have to
make
make some of that. So, okay. So we're going to have to get into this. I'm sorry. Yes, Jennifer said yes, MASH. Debbie loved Yellowstone. The ending was really good.
Jennifer says, name the new one, Rooster Cogburn, like for the John Wayne movie. You're going to laugh at this. I started calling him Seth because the first 2 brothers didn't work. Get it?
So Barbara said MASH ending was epic. Debbie said yes for MASH.
There's no living with him now. I want
Matt
you to know.
said MASH had the absolute best series finale ever. Rita said, I agree with Joe. MASH had the best ending, and I want grape salty.
Yeah.
So Sarah said, I'll have to watch the end of Yellowstone. Yeah, it is
good
because we don't have what is it, Paramount, whatever, I guess. What is it usually on? Is it on Peacock? I don't know. But we have the Peacock subscription on our Apple TV, but not wherever it originally aired. So we had to wait until they moved it over so that we can watch it as part of our stream because we don't have cable.
Yeah.
And I guess we're 6 months behind, but it was just really good.
I'll tell you what gets me, which is so hilarious. So
I watched it until 4:30 in the morning.
The friend that I have known the longest in my life is my friend Beth. And she is probably the most peaceful, sweetest lady you're ever going to meet. And so when Beth is the primary character on Yellowstone, and is she the opposite of
Complete
Beth?
opposite.
She is the complete opposite of Beth. So every time I hear the name Beth, I'm always like, oh, Beth, or Beth Seidel, another absolute peacemaker. Okay. Right. This Beth is
don't spoil it.
Okay, if anybody's watched one episode of Yellowstone,
I love that. She's one of my favorite characters on the show.
You ain't gonna cross this woman, okay?
Her devotion to Kevin Costner,
she loves her daddy, yo.
I just love it.
Yes.
Anyway, okay, so Amy said, I might be going crazy, Joe, but I forgot how to make keto chow for the creamy. I can't find your video. It's been too long. Very simple. So my personal opinion is 3 to 4 tablespoons of melted butter or 3 to 4 ounces of heavy cream. Do not use less than that. It just doesn't taste as good.
Ice milk.
It's like ice milk. It's too icy. You need it creamy. So minimum 3 to 4 tablespoons of melted butter or 3 to 4 ounces of heavy cream. Butter's going to enhance the flavor. Heavy cream, makes it a little bit thicker, but heavy cream will also help make it creamier than using butter. But with butter, you're going to get a better flavor. The way I started doing it now is when I make the creamy up, don't freeze it right away. Wait, I personally would make them and then freeze them the next day because the longer you let it go, if you make it and let all those flavors really infuse and then freeze it, it comes out to be a better ice cream. And that's it. I don't add, and then I'll put, sometimes I don't have any right now, but we'll put 1/4 teaspoon of tarragon in there. That helps prevent the ice buildup on the outside and makes it even creamier.
Okay, so yes, Nancy says Ollie's, their like little motto is good stuff, cheap. I love that. Talk about like perfectly to the point. Yes, and that is exactly what I want. I would like good stuff, and then also I would like it cheap. That's what I would like. I wish everything was that forthright in its motto. Like Marshall's, Ross, TJ Maxx could be like, we've got stuff, but you're gonna have to dig for it. That should be their motto, right? Like, you know.
Okay, so Dewey said it's on Paramount. So it's on Paramount, but then I guess wherever it was originally, we didn't have access. You had to wait. Now, right now, you can go watch it on Peacock, and then you can watch all the other stuff over on Paramount, which we have that as well. Juliana said, yeah, it has gluten in it. I looked at it this week and I was bummed. Sometimes we just want easy foods.
You're right.
John said, I'm the heavy whipping cream taste tester. My wife will smell it but won't taste it.
Because sometimes, okay, like...
It's like ricotta. Once you open it, like I just bought 2 quarts of it at Costco. And it's like April 7th. But once you open it, it's not April 7th anymore.
No. And so the other thing that's kind of hard that like I know you, even after you smell it and you're unsure, like John, you got to go in and taste it because sometimes like the ring around just like the opening,
that's all fat.
But it gets like smelly.
You got to give it really good
It gets like it smells nasty. And so it may make me think that it is okay, but then now I have to taste it because it may be lying.
John wants to know who streams Yellowstone. Right now you can go watch Yellowstone, I know for a fact, on Peacock. And then you can watch all of the other ones, and I think the older series, the older episodes, but I don't know, over on Paramount Plus. But that's where you can watch 1883, 1923.
Joe H
and there's a couple more coming out.
I love you, Joe H. I've made your gyrations. He's made our gyrations, and they're great.
Jennifer said Team Grape Salty. Yes.
Oh no, Renee said that our TV just died today. That stinks. I'm sorry. That sucks.
Jenny said, I wish I could be at the meetup. I'm going to be in Virginia and Maryland visiting family and friends, and I'll head across the country to get to Seattle for the low-carb cruise.
Oh, we get to hang out with you
I completely forgot about this, but the end of May, we will be going back to Elkhart for the Alliance National Rally.
So if you're going...
We leave the national rally that Saturday morning, and I completely forgot that on the way home, we are supposed to be stopping at the Indiana meetup.
Yeah.
Because, I forgot about that until Jackie put up a post in the group last night, like, special guest. I'm like, I forgot.
Well,
I forgot about that. We just have to figure out where are we going to park the RV when we stop for that.
I don't know, Cracker Barrel?
Well, yeah, because by then we'll have our batteries. Because remember, I got to go to Texas before that to do all my battery stuff. So but we'll have to figure out where we're going to park that.
Somewhere. Somebody got parking space for us.
John said I have Paramount Plus. I'll have to check it out. How many seasons?
Joe is joining the Tesla Club tomorrow.
Hey, Joe, if you're joining the Tesla Club tomorrow, I'll send you a link. If you use the link that I have, you'll get up to $1,000 off the price of whatever. Remember, there's no deals with Tesla, but you'll get $1,000 off the price of Tesla. It depends on the model. I think that $500 up to $1,000, depending on the model you get. We don't make any money, but what it does is it gives us, I think, $500 in like free superchargers or self-driving and all that. So, unless you already ordered your Tesla.
Yeah, the kids' youth group leader, Susie, that officiated Anthony's wedding, just called us this past week. She just had a baby, and then they're like buying a car.
Yep.
So,
Chad said, watching guys from the computer, I finally found in the storage shed.
Oh, nice.
It's been lost since June. I'm missing so many things.
There's so much stuff that it's like, it's crazy. Can you imagine, like, you're going to go and find your chair because now you have a table.
I know where the chair is. It's at the very front of the storage unit.
Is it at the front?
It's in the very front, and then my computer, everything is in this shipping container, so I can pull all that out.
Because it's like Ross Dress for Less in there.
But no, I'm missing stuff like, so I've started sheetrocking over here. John Paul came last weekend, did our panel, so I've started sheetrocking.
Made us a charging station?
The, the laundry area. and there's the faceplate that goes over where the water comes out. I have no idea what I did with that thing. Like that, the ice maker one, which is actually behind the refrigerator anyway. But I you know, because you put those pieces in, and then there's a faceplate after you do the sheetrock and paint. I don't know where I put them. So it's like
3D printer to the rescue.
Well, I did do that for John's electrical thing. I created this nice little thing because he's got these surge protectors, but I'm like, how do you trim it out? He's like, I put caulk around it. I'm like, no. We're going to make a 3D printed design.
He's like, great. I need them in neon green, and I need like 500 of them.
Yeah, I know. The turkey eggs
The turkeys are turning. Oh, Matlock.
Andrea said, you guys look beautiful. Bless you both. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So I just saw somebody said they're watching the new Matlock with Kathy Bates. And I was actually going to put out feelers and see what y'all thought about that. I loved Matlock. That was definitely a show that I watched with my grandpa a lot over the years. Like when I'd go and stay over there, and we watched Matlock together because Andy Griffith solving cases. And now I know Kathy Bates has won awards for her performance, but I was wondering if you guys thought it was good or it was just like critically acclaimed. You know, like how sometimes things can be critically acclaimed and like no real person wants to watch it. So I'm glad to know, because I love Kathy Bates. She's amazing.
John uses an entire stick of butter.
Robin, hello, beautiful. How is your new pupster doing?
Kathy said, I've never had any old heavy whipping cream. I do, because I'll get on a kick and I'll use it, but then like a week later I'll go to use it and be like, it's like, I just opened it.
It's that avocado that just like turns from.
It's like, it's literally
bright
like
green
ricotta.
to like gray.
Ricotta, like, will have this Best By date that's like months ahead of time, but once you open it, like, you have 3 days.
I
have a nice thing in here to make pizza, but I'm afraid to open it, and I'm waiting to make a pizza.
We need to make a pizza for an entire meetup. You bought the ricotta at like Costco.
But it was cheap.
I know it's cheap, but it is like a whiskey barrel of ricotta. It's
not that big.
We don't have enough.
Don't worry, ricotta. I got a recipe for ricotta cookies.
Oh, okay. So we gotta make it. We're making batches of everything and sending it all out. We need 50 people to come over for dinner, because if we don't use all the ricotta in one sitting, it's all crap. And now we've spent $6 for nothing.
So Matt said there's a Central Florida meetup on May 3rd.
Yes.
Tristan, I spent most of the day making a couple of pieces of art for a museum in Rochester.
Oh, how nice. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting, Trish.
John said the newbie auction video was hilarious.
I just had to, because we have seen like funny things, and then I'm leader of the pack of silly things for sure. Because you do have like all of these questions, you're new to it. One of the ones that my sister and sister-in-law and brother had gone to the auction. They actually got a rabbit when they came and visited us, and he is a delight. They're loving their rabbit. He's fit into the family perfectly. He's actually like a parrot rabbit. He sits on my brother's shoulder. Like, he's just super friendly guy. But when they came for the first time, that was their newbie experience, and they're like, "Why does it smell? Why does it smell like this?" And it's like, yeah, livestock.
Oh, Joe said I was going to ask you, but I use mine. That's all. I don't care if you use mine, but it's like, I want you to get the discount.
I just want you to get $1,000.
I didn't even know about those when I got Rachel's Tesla, and like, I could have used one from Chris Miller and saved money. Now, it comes and goes. They don't always have that program. Right. And then sometimes they'll give you cash. Sometimes you get free self-driving. Sometimes you get free supercharging. We don't really use the supercharger. We really only use it for local driving. And then when John was coming, I'm like, okay, I want to put in a charger.
At the house.
And so I had found in the back of in all the junk that the guy left here, he had old fence posts, like the white PVC fence posts. And I'm like, that'll work. So I pulled one, I buried it like 2 feet deep, and then I cut the top off, and I bought a 6x6 solar light cap, put it on top. It came out really nice, screwed the Tesla charger on there, and then John's like, I'll run the electric for you, but you're digging the trench.
Fair.
Fortunately,
Fair
we have
enough.
this is not South Florida where everything is limestone.
Oh
Everything
my
here is
gosh.
very sandy, so it's very
There-
easy. I dug it in like 15 minutes.
That comedian Nate guy, sometimes I'll see the reel come up in Instagram and it's hilarious where he's talking about the worst job in the world is digging a hole, and that's why so many people get caught like with murders because they've buried people in a shallow grave, because who wants to dig a big deep hole? It's very hard to dig a hole. It is seriously hard. That is why, like parents and grandparents, when you had kids running around and you needed to give them a job and you're outside trying to get things done, all the parents would say, go dig a hole. Because like literally you're never going to see the kid again for the rest of the day because digging a hole is hard. It is very hard.
Oh, Joe said Matlock has nothing to do with the original, but it is good. It'd be hard for me to watch it. Like if it had anything like a remake, I can't take remakes because like Andy Griffith.
Well, yeah.
You know, I mean, it's just like that character.
I don't confuse the two.
No, but
I saw her. She was in a blue suit.
Like I was
which
very
cute.
upset when they redid Jumanji because
Right.
like Robin Williams was so good.
We're
in
very
it,
loyal to Robin Williams.
you know. So
The
anyway,
Rock,
again,
get outta
reminder:
here.
if you have a question about keto or carnivore, please put it in the chat.
Liz says, I never have old heavy whipping cream either. Yeah. Now, usually I'm pretty good about buying the little container. When Joe bought 2 like half gallons, I thought, my gosh, is that what don't you dare open that thing until we know we're going to finish it. Because again, I get scared.
So
They need to sell it by the sip.
John,
Shouldn't they make heavy whipping cream like they make creamers at the gas station? Can't they sell that? Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be awesome? I would totally buy that.
I know.
Little containers of legit heavy whipping cream.
John said heavy whipping cream lasts 2 weeks tops after you open it, but 2 months before you open it. Yeah, like
Right.
the stuff I bought today's got like I think it's like April 9th or something like that.
Yeah.
Jennifer said my cream lasts a long time after I open it. Is it because I only get it with carrageenan? No, we only get it with carrageenan
Yeah.
too. I mean,
I don't know.
I don't buy.
Puppy's good. He's a handful, as all puppies are. It is, you know what? I get, great photos of like what's going on with, Peyton and Jenny. And now they have a puppy, Luna. So they look identical. Jenny and Luna look absolutely identical. They are Gordon setters. Those are my grand puppies. I love them, but they are very different in nature. Like Jenny was always like, she is a read the room dog. Like she always was just like very like, what are you wanting me to do? She was like completely like, I want to make you happy. Luna is like, I'm gonna eat your foot. Like she is very like rambunctious. And some of the funniest like photos and videos I get are pictures where Luna and Peyton are just playing all up in Jenny's business, and Jenny is just dead staring the camera like, really? I remember when I was the only child. I was the only furry child. And now you've got a toddler and also a baby dog here. Like, I don't even want to tell Jenny that mommy is pregnant with another human puppy.
Tam, thank you very much for the
Thanks,
$10
Tam.
Canadian. Said thanks for all you do, you guys. We enjoy all of your channels.
Tam and Liz. Thank you so much. Love you.
Kathy said nobody will replace Robin Williams. I agree.
Right, I love him. We were just rewatching RV recently. That was hilarious.
I want to rewatch it again.
That was a really hilarious movie.
John said you need a ditch digging attachment for your tractor, basically a chainsaw for dirt. I don't have a.
What'd you call me,
I don't
John?
have a ditch witch, but I do have different things. And remember, we have a Vaco, but it just depends. You have to be able to get the tractor in there, and you're talking about I put the pole like down where the steps are on the front, and then it had to dig the electric up. We put it into the inside house panel, so like couldn't really get the tractor in there. So it was a hand dig, but fortunately, thanks to keto, I can do it now.
Funny fun fact. I was in a band in high school called Ditch Witch.
Nice. Matt said, consistency is building in my life. I've printed at least one thing every day this year, working on consistency in other parts of my life.
I am so freaking proud of you, Matt. Like, you have been true to that. I think that that is so cool. And honestly, that is what, like, I am trying to be more intentional because of you setting the standard, Matt, as far as if I'm going to buy something or if I'm going to like take classes about something, I'm going to use that thing. You have gotten the full value out of your 3D printer just by deciding, hey, every single day I'm just gonna print something. It doesn't have to be like, you know, the Mandalorian outfit. Like, you don't have to do that. You can build a small thing, but you are using it consistently. I'm just so proud of you. Also, balls.
Shayla said, Joe, I wish I had your brain. Listen, I am nothing special. I am not that smart.
Aww, I think you're pretty smart.
I'm certainly not book
Look
smart.
how you picked your spouse.
I'm certainly not, but that's luck.
Maybe
I'm
that's
certainly
not
book
smart.
smart. What I'm good at figuring things out, but most of the time it's by trial and error.
Errors.
With a lot of error.
Right.
Like, I can't tell you how many times I've even done things in a house and I'll go, crap! Rachel's like, I screwed up. And, you know, but again, it's because I'm everything I do is self-taught because I am not a book person. Like, I cannot learn by reading. You know, it's like, if you can give me a book on how to repair an engine, good luck. But if you give me that engine and say, listen, you can have it for 2 months, take it apart and put it back together.
You can do that.
When I'm done, so long as I took pictures of putting it back, you know, as I took it apart so I know where all the parts go, I will know exactly how that engine works.
The only criticism that I have, and I love you and I'm so proud, is that your crap, could mean anything. And I find, like, during this house remodel, I have like thought so many times, oh, I really hope he legitimately crapped his pants because I can wash those. I mean, that's fine. Like, if you pooped your pants, we're good with that. But like, crap could be I dropped a screw or like this entire thing fell apart. Like, I don't know what it is.
Right.
I mean, and he was always like this. The kids would say that too, because it would be like, oh, crap. And then they'd be like, oh my gosh, like, are we homeless or did dad just like drop something?
I screw up a lot. I screw up a lot.
We had 45,000 versions of caramel macchiato. Literally. 45,000.
Let's see. Patty said, I just found you two, finishing up my second week on keto.
Patty.
Welcome. Your channel is a big help.
Thanks.
Patty, make sure you go join our Mighty Networks group.
Yes.
Members.2crazyketos.com. It is completely free. There are paid versions over there, but that's for people who want to support us financially. And like on Wednesdays, Rachel live streams at 10 a.m. for the paid supporters. But 99% of everything over there is free. It is a great place to have community, get your questions answered, get support. When you sign up on a computer, and then you can go and download the app and use the app. But it's members.2crazyketos.com.
And I'm going to tell you, there's way cooler people over there than us. Way cooler.
Terry said, make butter with your heavy whipping cream. I used to get a half a gallon at
that's
Natural
smart.
Grocers when they marked it down to make butter.
That is so freaking smart.
That is a really
That
good
is
idea.
really smart. I didn't even think about that. But yes, that is really smart. We used to do that at school. Did you guys have like Thanksgiving or you cook Christmas like with your we had like a kitchen in my kindergarten class and first grade class.
Not us.
And we would and I remember God bless our teachers. Mrs. Flanoy, wherever you are, I love you and highly respect you still. My first grade teacher gave a bunch of 5-year-olds just like glass mason jars worth of heavy cream. And she had us get all of our like ADHD out, like right and shaking those things. I mean, we made butter lickety split, but I mean, that's some cojones to give 25-year-olds glass mason jars of heavy whipping cream and make butter out of it. You know what? We did.
John said they rent the ditch diggers at Home Depot. Yeah, if you ever need one, much smaller footprint than a tractor. John actually put up a reel recently of him driving down the road with him. When I go and do, like, I might need something like that. You know, this depends on where I have to run it. My very next project, I'm putting the house on hold. Because, well, I have to build a doghouse because we're going away and Tabitha needs someplace to stay while we're gone. But My very next project is all of my solar stuff came, so I'm gonna be working on our studio this weekend now that my solar is here. So I've got to run the electric inside of there, and then I don't know how I'm gonna get those solar panels on the roof. I was gonna put them in a field, but now I'm gonna put them on the roof because they'll get better sun up there, and it's only a shed. It's not my house.
So,
but the goal is to run our YouTube studio, which is a 12 by 18 shed, completely off of solar and battery backup.
so that makes me think of something. Sarah G and Alan, who live the closest to us, while I'm gone, we're going to have you call in with Mr. Joe here and be like, hey, still alive? Because if you fell off the roof, I would not know until
I'm not
Saturday.
mounting the solar panels tomorrow. I'm doing the inside tomorrow.
Okay.
I can't mount the solar panels because I need the brackets to put them on the roof. I was trying to find these things called solar stacks, which means you don't have to screw into the roof. They use this like foam adhesive and you put them down, and I can't get any supplier to call me back. So I finally got a hold of my contact at Signature Solar and said, what do you have? And he's like, use these, but every one of them does require me to drill 3 holes into the roof.
Them's the breaks.
Yeah.
But because I won't be here tomorrow because I am going back to Coconut Creek to go have dinner with Caleb, who is having a birthday on March 30th, but like I'm gonna be missing that because we're gonna be on the road. I'm kind of sucking lately as far as like being his mom, but I am going to be there for before his birthday. But yeah, so I won't know what's going on with you.
I'll be fine. I may electrocute myself, but I won't fall off the roof.
Please don't.
John said, I did the last time when I did solar in like our old RV, I did electrocute myself with solar because believe it or not, solar can electrocute yourself. When you have 128 volts going through it and you touch the wire, my fingers were numb for like 2 weeks. John, you won't get killed, but you will get a hell of a shock. John said, I have that problem every time I say crap, my wife freaks out. He said, for me, crap could mean anything from I forgot to do something to it's a complete disaster.
Yes.
Jennifer said we had hammers, nails, and a saw to build in kindergarten. No one ever got hurt with them.
Right? How? And then when it was time for recess, we would go out there to like the Mad Max Thunderdome of playgrounds. Like we had the big monkey bar, like it was like the big circle, the sphere of broken arms, where I'm very proud to say that like this is the one time where being like, you know, a very like overweight child who had no, you know, ability to like pull herself up actually prevented me from having any broken arms. But like 5 kids in my class got a broken arm off of that thing. Still didn't take it out. It was like, no, it makes you stronger. And then we had the metal slide that gave you 3rd-degree burn because it was completely just metal baking in the hot Florida sun.
Juliana said, one pre-K class is forever making me keto plates of food on the Play Kitchen. Meat, veggies, shrimp, eggs, and bacon. That's awesome.
Nice.
Matt said, Sarah, join tonight and come down on Tuesday to help with the solar panels if Joe can wait that long. Like, I probably won't do the solar panels this week because I gotta wait for the brackets. And
maybe till
there's a lot on the plate to get done before we leave for Elkhart. But I'm gonna do the inside stuff.
Liz says, one of my dreams is to run a kindergarten totally in the woods with tree climbing and bare feet and all the things. Can I be your assistant teacher? That's my question, because that would be freaking delightful. I would love that. I think that would be just so much fun. I mean,
I would have kids come out here, but like liability.
Right. If I
don't want to get sued.
If we can get parents to just sign off waivers, yes, bring them out.
Those waivers, by the way, they mean nothing. When you sign a waiver, like I won't sue.
Tree climbing and Liz, I want to be your assistant teacher. That would be so fun.
Yeah, it's funny because we were after watching Yellowstone, Rachel and I was talking about like I would never want to live a different life now that like this is part of our life.
Yeah.
In being this way more, you know, and I do like the whole idea of living off of the land, but not to an extreme. We have had, by the way, we'll answer this here. We've had a lot of people message us said, I don't understand why you didn't just tear down the house and start over.
We couldn't afford to do that.
Money. A new house for a manufactured home would have cost us $150,000 to $200,000, and a concrete block house would have cost us $250,000 to $300,000.
We don't have that.
We don't have that. Whereas renovation on this house, $50,000 to $70,000 by the time we're done, and it's built the way we want, like with good materials. Like we could have done it cheaper with like lesser quality kitchen cabinets and that kind
Trust
of stuff.
me, we went
But
and looked at houses, and then we were
thought
like,
about it hard.
thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
They advertised like $89,000 for this manufactured home.
Okay.
We're like, okay.
A couple more $1,000. We can make it work.
We could probably do that. We don't want debt, but we knew that what we could probably get for the old house.
No more
But then
steaks.
they're like, plus $15,000 for delivery, plus the money to put it together, plus the contractor, plus the AC. And like this $89,000 manufactured home was all of a sudden $170,000. I'm like, no, we can't afford that.
Yeah, sorry.
But I mean, we have had recommendations that we could have built like a home out of mud, which I've watched a lot of homesteading channels like that. But I mean, I know I could, but I don't want to.
Can you imagine
and also
me?
you have to think about, we're in Florida. We are in hurricane season, so whatever you have does have to be able to withstand 150 to 170 mile an hour winds.
You guys have seen me on RV Unplugged season 2, okay? So I am like, put me in, coach. Like, I want to be a very useful engine. Can you imagine me like digging up dirt and making brick molds, and then you're gonna have to trust that brick mold that I'm making for the house? And also, how long would that take? How long would that take if we
there's
made
that
the
tiny home
bricks?
family where they fill up the bags with mud. I mean, but no, and it's just us. Kathy said 120-degree metal slides and the merry-go-round of death.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, and the seesaw where, I mean, like, I don't even see a seesaw anymore on like school
That's
playgrounds.
because you're on a seesaw and then one kid decides, like,
off.
I'm going to jump off.
And then, and you are catapulted, or you're that kid that somehow they've got it triggered so that as soon as you walk up to it, it like hits you up the face.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff they've
Lady
gotten rid of.
Fritzer said, Rachel, we had those monkey bars also, and they were built over concrete.
And no one broke their head either. It's amazing. It is amazing that we lived. How?
John said, yes, solar can do some serious damage. If it's enough panels, you can weld with it. Yep. Keep them covered with all the... Well, what happened was when I was working on the RV, I didn't realize, like, they were all connected, but I didn't realize there was a backfeed through the inverter. And so I touched that wire. And it was like, yeah, my fingers were numb for a couple of weeks.
Oh, Neely is here, but you're YouTubers. YouTubers are made of money, right? Yes,
right.
absolutely.
We are broke.
That is why I like rinse out my paper towels and continue to use them a couple of times. That's, yeah, if that doesn't indicate like success.
Renee said, a mud home, what happens when it rains? So there is a YouTube channel about it. That you put the mud in these bags, like burlap bags, and you mix it with other stuff. It does
do have a
become
lot of
like
dirt.
concrete.
Yeah.
But it is a lot of because you have to dig up all the dirt. And the same thing with like log cabin. Where am I going to cut down trees to build the log cabin home? You know?
I just love this. I just love it. I mean, just... There's no way, but it's almost worth doing. I mean, talk about the laughs. I would love to bring more joy and laughter to this planet. We need to laugh. And I feel like that would provide a contribution like none other. Just making a house out of dirt. Awesome. That'd be awesome. Plus,
I should
how
put
would
a
we
camera
not
on
kill
you
each
when you
other?
go out every morning for the meat birds.
Oh, you probably should.
Because you're like, ew, ew.
They're every single time. Okay, so this is a rookie thing. So as we've said, the meat birds are a completely different animal. I don't know what that is.
They're
okay,
so heavy.
They're so heavy. And they're like a little bit very water balloony, okay? So, but I moved the tractor.
Are they like 5 weeks now?
They
Like we could We could butcher them before we leave.
I feel like that would almost be merciful. But our daughter is like, do not butcher those chickens without me.
I really want to let them go one more week after we leave, when we get back, but...
Yeah, well, we need to talk to that one lady. But anyway, so I move the tractor every day so that they have fresh grass. I don't want them not to have like fresh new stuff every single day. But like total idiot over here. Again, you can't trust me to build your house, like not out of dirt. No, I walk through the poop from yesterday at least once a day. At least once a day. And I know what direction I'm pulling the thing, but I go to check on them and I step in the poop every single day. Every day.
Here's the thing.
Every day.
Rachel had me get a net for catching them because like our friends that we went over and they were like, you need a net to pull them out of the tractor, which these chickens are so motivated by food.
Yeah.
Because I take the food out every night. No, they go 12 hours on with food, 12 hours off.
So much.
And so they are currently right now, the 21 chickens are going through about 18 pounds of feed a day.
It looks a lot like, and then they're not even standing up to eat. They just like sit down to eat. It's seriously, every single time I go past there, it reminds me of me and you, but pre-keto, Mexican restaurant, chips and salsa. Well, they are just sitting there eating chips and salsa.
You haven't had to feed them in the morning for a little while. The last few days I've been getting up and I go do it. Well, whatever, you drop down the thing, you pull it, and it's like no matter where they are, they will come running. If they happen to go out, just go get food. They are so motivated by food, they don't know anything else exists when that food shows up.
You
don't even need the food now. As soon as you walk up to it in the morning, they all like, oh, this means I'm getting food.
They just really...
You can bring nothing, and they're coming to you.
It's like 21 Jabba the Hutt sitting there. It's like, oh, no, internet solo. Like, seriously, they're Jabbas. Jabba the Hutt.
Neely, do you do meat birds? Like, it is definitely interesting.
Internet solo.
Matt said I only broke one bone, and that was in a church parking lot. Spilled on my bike in David Jeremiah's Black Heart Baptist Church.
Oh my gracious.
John said, yes, the 12-foot metal slide in full sun, bun toaster, second-degree burns on thighs if you're not careful.
I think I can't see my own butt, but like I'm pretty sure that there's still a burn mark. Is there a burn mark on my butt cheek still? Because I feel like the damage has been done. I have a chicken pox mark on my left knee, and I'm pretty sure that I have a slide mark on my butt cheek.
Patty said, I just watched the video on whipped cream. Hilarious, but educational. We try. I'm excited that
I've gotten so much better,
as we can get the studio in. No, we don't even have any. We haven't had any in a long time.
Well, they haven't had any buy one, get one deals.
Because we only buy the heavy whipping cream, or we only buy the purple cans when it's buy one, get one free.
And then it looks like we're into a freaky sex something.
And so the last time was...
My whole shopping cart.
I feel like we bought it...
What are you doing?
I feel like we bought it in
Friday night.
December, or...
Friday night.
I think it was like December. It was buy one, get one free at Publix, and the Best By date was like March.
Yeah.
So we bought like 36 cans, and they were stored at the house down there. You would open up the refrigerator, and you're like, what's going on? But it's like, it's half price. That stuff's expensive. I'm not paying $6 a can for whipped cream.
The best thing, though, is like getting into line to check out, and the person looking horrified at your shopping cart with 36 bottles of whipping cream, and then you just ask them, hey, can I have your number? Because they're like, no, you cannot have my number because I don't know what's going to happen with this whipped cream.
Angela said, we had one student die after falling off the slide onto the concrete head first. We were in first or second grade.
That is awful. Oh my gracious.
John said 80s playgrounds were awesome. Nothing but heavy metal, concrete, and sand. And none of us wore a helmet for our bicycles.
We didn't wear a helmet. My brother, my brother had that last, he had the, what was the tricycle called that like, the power wheel? It wasn't a power wheel, it was him. It was like the tricycle that was plastic, low to the ground, and it had the thing where you could pull the brake and like spin out. What was that thing called? Somebody knows.
Big wheel.
It was a big wheel. And oh my gosh, he was like, and he was still in like, diapers and like the plastic diaper over the top of that. And like, it didn't even matter. Mom would go like 2 houses down. I mean, he was what, like 5? 2 houses down, there was like a bucket. And she was like, don't like go past the bucket. And he knew. And I think it was awesome. Like the neighbors, Mr. and Mrs. Matt, who are like surrogate grandparents for us, like they left the bucket in their yard because they're like, that's that little boy's bucket. That's the marker that says don't go past the bucket.
Liz said, so I can be a meat chicken instead of a Labrador since I'm so
Same.
So it's funny, we're walking around
Totally.
in Costco and paper plates were on sale. And so I said to Rachel, I don't like those paper plates. They're the small 8-inch ones, and I want the big ones. I'm like, because the bottom line is,
I can still want.
I may have lost a bunch of weight,
I still
but
wanna
I'm
know.
still fat at heart, and I want the giant plate that I can load up all my food on.
Don't give me something like, that they would
that
use
you can put a normal size amount of food on.
or like a Weight Watchers thing where it's like, here, if you have a smaller plate, then you want less food. And it was like, no, now I'm just going to like exhaust myself going back to the kitchen 46 times.
Neely said we tried the meat birds once. If we do it again, we're going to do a different breed.
We got a different breed.
So our next
Coming.
breed, so again, everything is timed based on when we're going to be here.
Right.
So we've got these. We're going to process them when we get back from Elkhart. And then after that, we've got, we've got whatchamacallit, the thing in Elkhart in May. And
It's June when we come.
and then we go on the low carb cruise. So the week after we get home from the low carb cruise, our next set of meat birds comes. We're getting 25 Sasso chickens and 25 kosher kings. So they take a couple
Kosher
more
kings.
weeks to get to market weight than the Cornish cross, but they also are a little bit more active.
Who names these things? Are these the kosher kings coming with like a hat and
It's
ringlets?
just that Cornish cross are more
Are
of
they
a
just
breast meat.
most used in like how did they get that name?
But yeah, I don't know if you want quick ones and the ones that are going to be the cheapest as far as feed, it's the Cornish cross. But it's so hard to look at these things that are 5 weeks old
I feel like-
and they're missing 50% of their feathers.
Well, because they're growing so fast. I think that they are going to be easier for us to dispatch because you're just like, yes, I want to put this thing out of its misery. I don't want this thing to have to go through a Florida summer.
Angela
Dear Lord.
said her puppy goes to the pasture and rolls in cow pies.
Oh gosh, Tabitha, they're infatuated with poop, and especially right after a bath. Get done with that bath, get her all twinkly, and then she's just like, where's the poop? Who pooped? Anybody poop? I want to roll in it.
Neely said, when are you guys getting goats? I don't think we're ever going to do goats. We want to do sheep. But I don't want to have to worry about these things that escape. And I'm not a big fan of goat meat. For me, the only
like
reason to be
cheese.
getting goats would be for the milk. And it would really only be able to make yogurt and cheese because I'm not going to drink the milk. And so I'd
just be
rather
really
get
bloated.
sheep so that we can have lamb. They can also better lawnmowers than the goats. But our next animal will be Kuni pigs.
Yes.
Because they live on pasture as well. That's our next animal. Jennifer said, I've had my share of broken bones and stitches. We played hard. No regrets.
No regrets. Joe's had a lot of stitches.
I've had stitches, but
Everywhere.
not everywhere. I mean, I had a lot when I was a kid. I was always stepping on nails. We were always working on something.
Yeah. He's had more tetanus shots.
John said, no broken bones, but busted open my head a few times. Just a few stitches here and there. Sean's here, said, good
Hey,
evening.
Sean.
Sorry I'm late.
Good to see you.
Yeah, Tanya said, your parents couldn't reach on a phone either. No cell phones in the 80s.
So they just dead stared you, and the weight of their words just carried. I know. Do not cross that woman. She would whistle. My mom can whistle, and you would hear her a block away because I was at one end of the block, and I would go to my friend's house at the other end of the block. And by friend, I mean she had a bicycle, and I had a bicycle, and then that was friends. That's all that was required. You have a bike? We're friends. And so she would whistle and I would be like, my mom's calling, I gotta go home. Like that's all she had to do.
Listen, I think cell phones are one of the greatest and worst inventions in history.
Same
thing with social media. I think
It
social media
developed
could be
with etiquette
well.
to it.
I think social media, and listen, we're social media people, right?
We're
run a
the
YouTube
problem.
channel, right? But
Problem.
when you go to a restaurant and everybody's face is down in their phone and looking at social media, it's horrible.
Sad.
And like the amount of literally marriages that end over Facebook because people look up old boyfriends and so it's like horrible. Like it could be so many good things, but it's also horrible. It's like the same thing with cell phones. And it's like people now, because of cell phones, expect you to be available 24 hours a day. Like I have strict rules with my phone. First of all, if Rachel's home, my ringer is always off unless she's not home. Now, I have it programmed to like, if for the kids, like they can get through. Like same thing at night. Like certain people, no matter, even if it's do not disturb, it will ring, but everybody else it's going to voicemail. I have a rule that like I'm not answering business calls on the weekend. Like it's just like, hey, Friday, come off. I'm not answering any. I don't like to answer emails because I feel like you need to set aside that time. But people, even my mom will be like, I tried calling and you didn't answer. I'm like, do you remember where you could only call somebody when you got home from work? Like I'm working, like in the middle of doing, like you're in the middle of a conference or you're in the middle of a very important meeting, but people expect you to drop everything because they call.
We were teasing her because she's definitely that mom. And now
she turns off her phone.
She's like, she
calls, you didn't answer, she turns it off.
I swear she calls you. If you do not answer, she takes the like, she's like, hey, call me back. And then she takes the phone and then she throws it as far away from her as she can find it because I'm like, I called you back like 2 minutes later, but no.
Ohio Rick, do you have a discount code for Keto Chat? So Keto Chat doesn't do discount codes. They do a link.
Right.
So in the bottom of every one of our videos, it's generally the very top line, or on our website, you will find our link. If you click on that link, you will get 10% off everything at Keto Chow other than subscriptions. So if you want salty, if you want Keto Chow, if you want blender bottles, you get 10% off using that link. And we really appreciate what you do. It doesn't cost you anything, but it does help the channel, but it does save you 10%. But more and more companies are actually getting rid of discount codes because what happens is they get put onto these coupon websites.
Right.
And so
it's like impossible to see.
The whole idea is they want to be able to track where did the traffic come from, like who is helping promote a company, because they don't. The idea behind these coupons, by the way, these discount codes, it's companies would rather do that. In the end, they save money over paying money for ridiculous ads,
right? Like commercials.
Putting commercials on TV. It's more direct marketing. Like we get sponsored by Brooklyn Bedding and RV Mattress. And so it's like, it is much better for them to sponsor a YouTube channel with $100, whatever, for a little commercial, and it gets direct to their audience. And so they give you a discount. If they had to run a bunch of commercials, you wouldn't get a discount. So Keto Chow just does it by the link.
Like even the Facebook commercials
they don't
are
like
super
those
expensive.
Sites. Yeah, it's
I remember
ridiculous.
Keto Brick stopped.
So yeah, we really appreciate it if you use our discount code. All of the codes that are down below are the links. It doesn't cost you anything. If you use our Redmond Real Salt one, you save 15%.
Cornish Cross will make you jump, jump. Oh my gosh, yes. Now I want to hear that song.
John said, must have 10-inch plates. 8-inch plates are useless. Yeah, Jennifer said, if the paper plate isn't 10 1/4 inches,
it's a saucer. That is exactly right, Jennifer. That is absolutely true. It's a saucer, and you're supposed to put your coffee cup on it, not your food.
Okay, so Stacy said, I bought the small plates at Costco today, and then Ken told me he could go back for seconds.
I like it.
They're too small.
Oh, speaking of Stacy, do you see what I'm wearing tonight, Miss Stacy? I can't wait to see your beautiful face and Ken's beautiful face. But yeah, I'm wearing chicken earrings you got me.
Yeah, Chris said, cheaper, perfect for keeping grass under solar panels where I had. Yeah, I was going to do a ground array next to the studio shed, but the guys from Signature Solar looked at everything. He said, you're going to have to cut down this tree, and this tree, because at certain times of the day it's going to shade, whereas if I put it up on the roof, I'm above the tree line. And because of angle, so we're just putting it
Listen, I had a lab that would find the dead squirrel in the backyard. He was the best dog, but he was dumb. Yes, we had a turkey that passed, and we buried it. And we got to bury it like so many times because Tabitha kept digging it up. Like, I'm being helpful. Thank you. It's traumatizing every single time you dig it up again.
Well, we had the two turkeys. We had two different turkeys die.
And she's like, no problem, I got it.
The other one, like, she dug half of it up, and then we went out like 3 weeks later, and there's a leg sticking up through the...
It kind of freaks you out. It was like Pet Cemetery. It would have been really creepy if it was in October. Speaking of which,
Renee said the cootie pigs are cute. Yes.
oh yeah, they are. I definitely want us to do a trip for like around October 31st, if it's possible some year, to that Corshon campground that is here in Florida, because it is creepy creepster. It's like everything that surrounds it is like a bamboo forest, and it is like you got to see it. We did a RV review of it on our RV channel, Two Crazy Campers. Corshon State Park. It starts with a K. And it was basically like it was like a commune, and it looks like aliens just came and took everybody and left all of their buildings, because like they're still there in pristine condition. It's like super freaky, but it was like the best place for
Chris
Halloween.
Said, I'm a fan of anti-social media, Twitter and Reddit. And he said, I get texts from Joe every once in a while that are clearly sent after midnight Eastern time. Joe, go to sleep.
It's just Chris because that's his bestie. And if something cool like happens, he's like, I would like to think that I'm the first person he would like to tell something cool to, but I don't think necessarily. Like, I think that Chris Bear finds out before I do a lot.
Okay, so Exposing Darkness, do you know anyone who has a discount code for Thorn vitamins? No, because I don't do vitamins.
I'm sorry, I don't.
Renee said, what is the best keto treat, like chips or candy? Do you have a favorite? So when it comes to chips, like the best stuff is going to be something you do at home, okay? But obviously that is not reasonable.
Can I say Primal Fudge Keto Brick is my favorite?
That's not I always like to say it's not candy.
It's not candy,
but okay. So if you want to look at like stuff that so it depends on what kind of keto kind of candy you want. I am going to tell you, stay away from all the sugar-free Russell Stovers.
That's going to make you
maltitol.
poop your pants.
I know they label it as diabetic friendly. It is not.
It's not.
Okay.
Panties friendly.
Same thing. If you want to watch a fun video, if you haven't seen it, go watch our review of the Reese's Zero.
Oh no, you say a bad word in it.
I did. So stay away from all that. So if you want a gummy bear, the best ones out there are Scrummy Sweets. There's a
Their
link down below.
caramels are really good.
Their caramels are really good, and these are
Syrup
products
is good.
that were made by somebody in the keto space who made them for herself and then started selling them. That's always going to be your best.
So
product.
that's caramels, that's gummies, and that is syrup.
Yes,
those are the best.
Some other candies would be RX sugar bars. Don't confuse them with the RX nut bars and stuff. It's like RX sugar. Mm-hmm. There are little bars about this big.
Those are tasty.
Those are very good. What we get if we really want something, we'll get Quest peanut butter cups.
Peanut butter cups are good. I'm not a huge fan of the Quest bars. They taste like chalky to me, and I also don't like. They have like wannabe M&Ms, and I'm not the big fan of them.
They're not bad, but they're a little bit. They're a little carby. As far as
heartburn.
As far as chips, I think the best chips out there are high-low chips. If you can find
high-low.
Those are the
I have
best
not
ones.
seen those.
We used to get them in Costco and stuff. They don't have.
We're
going to
be doing a review of that other protein chip that like Sabrina's son really liked.
I think it's like Wild.
Wilde, WILDE.
Yeah. The problem was we found them I thought it was Costco. And we've been at 4 different Costco's and nobody has it. So I don't know if it was maybe BJ's. I'm going to have to go to BJ's and look.
I found like
Quest chips aren't bad ingredients either. But they're very thin.
They're super thin.
And expensive. Like a bag in Costco is $10.
Like the ones, oh man. If you want another funny video, was the epic chicken chips that will break your teeth off chips. I don't know if they reformulated and we could revisit it again, but those were the hardest. You want to, you could put your coffee mug on them. Like that was the hardest chip I ever tried in my life. We like flock chips, but you only get like 4 in a bag.
They're too hard for me.
They're not enough in them. Peyton likes them, but they're just.
Storms it. Storm Chasing Gal, high-low chip went out of business.
Dang it. Why? As soon as I start using a certain lipstick,
They
like,
were owned by Pepsi. I did not know that.
really? They were really good. High-low. Now I want to watch South Pacific.
So Chris said, according to Reddit, high-low chips were discontinued by Pepsi. Lay's, I got a response from their Instagram account saying that they were not making the product anymore. Exposing
They
Dark
suck.
said Costco had the wild chips. Yeah, we got them at one, and I can't find them.
Ghosted. We were there today looking for them.
Storm Chasing Gal said Quest chips are a horrible bag of crumb. That's the problem, is they're very thin, so they break a lot.
Yeah.
Patty said, how about the Atkins stuff, peanut butter cups? I think that Quest makes a better product with cleaner ingredients. If you're looking for something in Walmart, I think Quest makes a better product.
And they're cheapest in Walmart.
Yeah, don't, like, if you go to, like,
Publix, they're like
if you go
$2
to
or $3 more.
If you go to Wawa, they're like $3.69 for 2 cups.
It's
But
like
you can go to
$8.88 or something.
They're $8.88 for 4 packs in
Walmart.
So that's like what, $2.22 compared to $3.69.
Yeah, there's only 4 in a box.
John said high-low chips were at Costco. Yeah, we had them at Costco and then we had them at BJ's.
Miss them. But the wild chips are promising.
Yeah. So, but again, it's not something that we really do a lot of. What I really miss is our meat chips, which is literally just meat. And
But
it's
our
like a
dehydrator-
consistency of
Our
potato
dehydrator
chips.
is in the storage unit.
I don't know where we're gonna, because we don't have a garage. I don't know where we're gonna put that kind of stuff.
Building a shed.
I'm thinking about, it's not going to go in a shed, because are you really going to, every time you want to make
we
your meat
need-
chips, go all the way out and traipse through the grass to, like,
Do what I have to do for
I'm thinking
meat
about,
chips.
like, when we eventually redo the decks, like, make this room over here, like, almost like enclosed, like almost like a Florida room, and put it out there.
Well, we should have a Florida room.
So.
What are we going to have? A South Carolina room? What are we going to have? A Colorado room? We're in Florida.
Kathy said so many of the chicken skins I've had were tasted were rancid. Yeah, that's why I don't like them. I think they go bad.
I feel like for the small quantity that come in the bag, they should defeather them. I get like the feather to chicken ratio is very even. And it should be 1-to-1 feather to chip.
Diane said she might be behind. I would be an RVer if my husband would agree. I was so against being an RVer. Like, Chris Bear will tell you, like, we are super dangerous for each other because we get each other into expensive hobbies. I used to make fun of him. I was like, that's like not
You
camping.
have to own that.
That is not camping.
You have to accept the responsibility of that.
And he's like, it's camping. I'm like, it's not camping. Because I was an Eagle Scout. Like, listen, I'm from New York. Camping is in the woods, pitching a tent. We did that. I got Rachel to do it a few times. It doesn't work well
You're
in
a grandpa
Florida.
now. You don't want a tent.
But what I've learned is RVing isn't camping. RVing is not camping. RVing is about community and exploring this country, and you just bring your hotel room with you. And by the way, it's a nicer hotel room than most hotels. Honestly, like, every RV we've owned is nicer than any hotel room I've ever stayed in. And
We're pretty
I have
low
a
class,
kitchen.
though.
And I have a kitchen.
We do have a kitchen.
And as I'm driving, I can literally pull over and go poop. And I don't.
It's very important to Joe.
I don't need to go find a rest area. Just pull over on the side of the road.
I have a hair that's like, no, I'll go where I want. And I want your eyeball. Yeah, that is, I do find though, almost comically so, every single time we do.
I'm excited for the new RV.
I'm excited for the new RV, but like the drive up, guaranteed. I don't know why. I think that they're plotting against Joe. It seems like every rest stop that we go, it's like the women's bathroom is like all signs are go, and the men's are like, I'm sorry, every single stall is under construction.
I'm not looking forward to driving
outside.
to Elkhart because we're not towing an RV. And
Wear a
I have to
diaper.
stop at rest areas. So
We have
I may just take bottles in the car.
We have nothing for you, sir. Because he was like, how is every single one broken? How? In every single rest stop we go to, like, no matter the state, it's like, we're working on it. I'm sorry. Go to the next one. He's like, I can't go to the next one because the next one is also broken.
Chris said, dang it, I thought Flock Chip changed to a different oil. Their website has lists soybean oil. So I've seen it using avocado oil, or coconut oil, but 90% of them, like it was very weird. Like a long time ago, they sent us some, it was soybean oil, then they sent us some, but it's like hit or miss of what you get. And they had a different line, and I don't think they do the avocado or coconut oil ones anymore.
I saw somebody talking about them somewhere. It was like in Buc-ee's. So I gotta check because we're definitely going to Buc-ee's on there. I need new pajamas, y'all. Like I've got like 3 pajamas. We need another pajama set. So we're definitely going to Buc-ee's on this trip. But if they have it, I'd like to see, because that they were advertising that we got flagships.
Yeah. Okay, Chris said, oh man, getting Joe into RVing was the most expensive thing I've ever done.
Yeah, there you go. It's almost like he shot himself in the foot. You convinced him, but like now he's got to get an RV too.
Oh, that's right, because he just upgraded his RV.
Yeah. You guys are bad for each other.
Yeah, let's see. I got him into drones. He got me into 3D printing.
Me and Miriam are great for each other. We make each other better. Like we just, we actually make ours. I feel like meeting Miriam Bear has made me more intentional as a person. I hope I have blessed her life the way that she's blessed mine.
Just
but
think
I don't
about
think
it.
we've had to purchase anything.
We'll get off with this. Just think about it this way, Chris. How bad would it have been if you would have gone with the Brinkley over the Alliance?
There you go.
So, like, you may
spaved.
get a new one, but at least I did help save you one.
You spaved it. You
And
spent,
I think
but
got
saved.
you with a company that has the best customer service in the RV industry.
There you go. That's
So,
gotta be
I
something.
mean, if you haven't seen
not
it,
much,
like,
but something.
If you're at all into RVing, the other day I put up a video on our camping channel about what makes Alliance better with their customer service and just some of the things that they're doing. This like revolutionary stuff. Like instead of like driving it on a road, they came up with an earthquake machine.
And no, you and Chris cannot stand on it when we go there. You're not allowed to stand on it.
Okay, we're going to get off, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be back live on Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern time for Keto Beyond the Couch. Again, if you get any kind of value, make sure you are liking our videos, subscribing to the channel. Make sure you're commenting on all our videos. And then use some of the links down below to help support the channel or consider buying us a cup of coffee. Have a good night, guys.
We love
Bye.
you.